First, he sees the male lead apologizing to the main character's father's grave, leading to the main character to believe in him once more and trust in him. And this sends him on a tangent. He even tries to physically assault the male lead over this, saying that the male lead is not worthy to be there, and everything he has done has made him not allowed to be there. He is very in anger. He says that if the male lead wants to apologize and that this isn't actually an act, that he needs to kneel and apologize to all the graves. And all I want to do is go F you. Do you have any proof that anyone outside of the main character's father's grave is deserving to be buried in the area of heroes? Is any of them, or are they just buried there because they were nobility? Because people that should have been buried there was the male lead's comrades that died, but they weren't allowed to have their names. So yes, I don't think the male lead should go around apologizing and kneeling to all of those graves. The only one I think he should apologize to is the main character's father's grave. But that is it. That is all I think he needs to apologize to. The main character tells the male lead that it's pointless for him to kneel and apologize to all the graves because it's not going to get him any sort of forgiveness by anyone around. That he shouldn't do it because he's going to be executed anyways for his crimes. So asking for forgiveness is pointless. But you know what? The male lead still does it. Because the male lead is a better person than everybody in this little book is. Because he kneels and apologizes to every single one of those graves. And when he falls faint for a period of time, those around literally go up to him and try physically assaulting him. The only person that tries protecting him is a little girl who, he had befriended and was only nice to, was the only person ever nice to her outside of her parents. And she tries protecting him because she doesn't understand why these people do not like him. She thinks he's a nice, sweet guy compared to everybody else around in her life. The Emperor assigns magic lessons to the male lead so the male lead can awaken his memories, because if he's learning magic once more, maybe his memories will awaken, and if he remembers things, he will remember the lessons he learned in the enemy country, so they will get information against the enemy country. The wise gentleman's story has me very suspicious, okay? I am very suspicious about the whole thing. Supposedly, he was a wise, kind, and gentle man. He was this country's state proctor centuries ago. He would teach anyone. He's taught a slave because during his period of time, slaves were not allowed to learn how to be converters. Slaves wasn't allowed to learn how to be converters until the ex-emperor took the throne. But yes, he taught a slave. And the emperor of the time was like, oh, this slave is very talented. We'll allow several other slaves to learn how to be converters. Well, these slaves decided to betray their country and form the enemy country that the male lead had betrayed the country for. Yes, that slave was the creator of the enemy country. He even kills the wise gentleman when he had gone to his student out of grief and anguish that he taught such a monster. Yes, but there are things I'm very suspicious. Also, the story is the reason why nobility thinks slaves shouldn't learn how to be converters, because they will do exactly like the traitorous slaves did. And then the male lead was also proof of that, but I can't help but go, yeah, you think people who've been mistreated and abused for centuries are going to get power and then be like, oh, we're going to let you do whatever you want still to us, and we're not going to lay hands back on you. Yeah, seriously, you guys are stupid. You're going to get what you deserve. Okay, you can't mistreat someone that gain power and then not turn around and mistreat you back. Like, are you guys stupid? And again, they know this, so that's why they try to keep slaves from getting power. But yeah, the main character also states himself that the wise gentleman looked like someone. So I have the suspicions, and I have a theory that the wise gentleman is actually the enemy country's state proctor, or the creator of the enemy country is the state proctor. Like, I don't have any proof of it, but I have that theory. Yes, just because the lead had stated he looked familiar. Also, I do not understand how the main character doesn't get warning bells when the male lead informed him he had been in the restricted room. A room that is guarded by soldiers. Highly skillful, talented soldiers. But the male lead outright tells him he had been in that room before, but he doesn't actually truly remember if he had been in there or not. He just feels like he has been there before. And I do not know why the main character doesn't start questioning everything, because if the male lead had told me he knew the wise gentleman and had been in the restricted room, I would be start thinking, things are not what they seem to be. The wise gentleman's story, it reminds me of the main character and male lead story. It reminds me of the main character and male lead story from Husky and his White Cat Fusion, but it also reminds me of the Heavenly Emperor and Heavenly Empress's story from Heaven's Official Blessing. Yes, they remind me for some little bit of reason, all of them, for some reason, even though we only get a little bit of their story, I just feel like it's going exactly the same way as those stories did. The Melly discovers that Close has a sickness. He even provides medicine to Close by getting it from Toothbrush away, and Close then helps him get fish. And I thought the moment was really sweet, and I don't know why, but I'm getting familiar vibes from the two of them. I don't know why, but Close is the adopted brother / son of Morning Sun's mother. And when she married Morning Sun's and Evening Snow's father, he was brought with her into the household. Morning Sun's mother died at childbirth, but there was a lot of distressing factors to why she probably died during childbirth. One, her husband was a pig, was a disgusting pig. When they were engaged, he had an affair with Evening Snow's mother and fell pregnant with Evening Snow and brought them in as a concubine and child of the household. And then she married him. And when she married him, he didn't just have an affair on her and Evening Snow's mother, but also had an affair with another woman who came and harassed her and distressed her while she was pregnant with Morning Sun. So Close does not have a great relationship with either boy because he doesn't actually fully blame them for the fault of his mother / sister's death. He still cannot like them because, again, their father is the factors of why the woman he cared for, his mother / sister, was dead. All he can see in these boys are the man who killed his mother. I also think there's more going on because when Evening Snow tries having a conversation with Close because they're all assigned a mission together. This mission is to go save Morning Sun. He is trying to have a conversation. This displeases Close, and Close basically reminds Evening Snow his position. So I am thinking, I have a theory, that he's actually in a way more blood related to Morning Sun and Evening Snow than we think. Okay, because think of Husky and his Shujin and the main character's actual bloodline. I think something like that is going on. That Close is true bio-parent might be the father of Morning Sun and Evening Snow. I could be wrong. But for some reason I think that because of the way he said that. Like how they were talking. Even the main character was suspicious. Or he could actually just be their actual biological uncle. Or he was actually the biological related to the Morning Sun's mother. Or even to the Emperor. Because again, Morning Sun's mother is related to the Emperor. But I think there's something going on here.